crack of thunder, a new round of games starts among the families, revolving around Texas's identity. Sora, are you ready yet? Stop rushing me. Ugh, this dress is so tight. You haven't been chubbing up on pizza behind my back, have you? What are you even talking about? I've only had one extra slice last night. Sora, suck it in. Alrighty, perfect. You're good. Done? Come on out already and let me see. Coming. Whoa, you look amazing. You can say that again. One pretty lady. If only Texas were here to see you too. Yeah. I knew you had it in you though, Sora. You made it on stage here in Syracuse mighty quick. But of course, this time, La Morte de Texas will be presented in multiple acts. We've already finished rehearsing the first one, and the opening night is the day after tomorrow. If everything goes well, maybe she'll be the one looking for me rather than the other way around. That could happen, let me think. Yeah, if it comes to that, I'm definitely gonna buy us pizza to slap her face around a bit. Speaking of Texas, I've been talking up the Balone family. I hear tell things have been awful rough for them lately. Hope that ain't getting in her way. She's gonna be perfectly fine. Most we can do right now is keep facing her. We ought to rest up before Sora's debut too. I originally wanted to take a look around the city, but it looks like I've turned into Sora's bodyguard. Bite me. But hey, I've eaten my weight in the free food at the theater. The pizza's not half bad. Things are probably only gonna get busier from here on out. So let's go for a walk. Okay. Hey, did you hear? You're talking Tex, right? Huh? Wait, Texas. Sentenced. Eh? Excuse me, did you just say something about Texas? Yep, sure did. You interested? What happened to Texas? My boyfriend's was family Balone, and I heard it from him. You know how Il Ministro de Lavori Pubblici was killed a few days ago? Apparently, they found a culprit. The one who did it was the last of the Texas bloodline. I think her name was Selenia or something? No way! They even decided the court date. It's the day after tomorrow. Signor Leontuso, we agreed on this meeting, but you've already pushed it back several times. My sincerest apologies, Signor Walat, but I've had too much to deal with lately. I hear you've already withdrawn a lot of your men from several areas previously under contention with other families. I'm worried about you. I'm glad to see that you're alive and well. It's nothing major, just cutting our losses. I'm quite fond of that prudent side of yours. Don't worry, Family Rosati has no interest in kicking a man when he's down. There's one problem that I must reluctantly bring up. It has to be about Texas. Selenia, Texas. Is she back? And even one of your bodyguards? Is it really her? What if I say yes? We never knew she was alive this whole time. Back then, it was my father who saved her. I see. This was the old Don's handiwork. The construction of the new city was, from the very beginning, because of the fate Salvadora shared with Syracuse. My father only hoped she could return to Syracuse to see the city. Such is family Balone. Despite knowing full well the significance of the Texas family name to Family Rosati, you still invited her back, her to come back so graciously. Impressive. Truly impressive. I, Wallach, can only offer my admiration. Again with your jokes. Jokes? How is any of this a joke? The news that Signora Selina is still alive means a great deal to us Rosaris. No matter how the balloon sees it, we are in your debt. Our two families will see this new city built, hand in hand. What debt is there to speak of? Very good. I love it. By the looks of things, fratello, you've been waiting for me all this time. So tell me, what is it you want? Simple. For the Rosaris to stay out of this. Oh? You want us to stand aside and watch the last Texas go down? That's not gonna fly with the boss. After the trial is over, she'll be held in custody, and you'll still be able to see her. Just see her? She's our guest. But she could also be yours. Alright, it's a deal. So this is when you decide to reveal Selina. That's certainly unexpected. Was it Lavinia's idea? No, there's no way for it to know that Selina wasn't the murderer. Knowing her, this isn't a decision she'd make. Could Leon have convinced her? Never mind, in any case. I didn't expect this card to get played. Dimitri, what are we doing now? Time to rub out Selina? Do you have any idea how many heavies she put down during the chaos that broke out 7 years ago? But an ambush, explosives, or good old-fashioned poisoning. We might have a way. Don't forget to take into account whoever invited her back. Whoever they might be, it undeniably was a clever move. Now that things have come to this, we're forced to resort to more brutal methods to put this trial on ice. At the end of the day, our goal is to plunge the city into chaos. From the very beginning, we've been here to provoke Signora Cecilia. Now, all we're doing is taking another step forward. Gotcha. If you ask me, I think there's another option. Who's there? Whatever you're doing sounds like fun. Mind if I join? Come in. Director, did you hear the news about Texas? I did. Just now. Do you have any clue what's going on behind the scenes? I got the news from Judge Lavinia's own announcement. Lavinia, the judge who helped me, she doesn't seem the type to lie, but are you going to postpone your debut? Could you please help me come up with something? I at least want to see her first. And regardless of whether or not your debut can be pushed back, I want to know what happens when you do see her. Signorina Sora, I remember you said you came to Siracusano with two friends to look for her. You always believed in the woman you knew, and she was truly who you thought she was. But now, you know her hidden past. You've been forced to learn that the woman you've been chasing might be an entirely different person. There you go see her. What then? What are you going to say to her? And what is she going to say to you? If that's the way things are, then maybe it's all my own fault. Maybe I never knew her well enough. Even if she was clearly keeping something from you. That depends on her reason for doing it. Anyway, Mr. Bernardo, showbiz is a big melting pot, and I've met all kinds. It's way too hard to be the person you claim to be, at least. I don't think I can pull it off. I always think of myself, one day, I'm going to turn into someone I'm not. So, I never expect it from other people. Everybody has their secrets. I do, she does, and I'm sure you do too. If she wants to keep her mask on until the very end, and that's the side she wants me to see, isn't that also genuine in its own way? Absolutely. Also, maybe I didn't express myself clearly enough. I'm not looking for Texas so I can give her a piece of my mind. Not at all. The four of us lived together in Lungmen for almost 6 years. 6 years. Precious to me beyond words. And I sincerely believe they're just as precious to her. Still, she still left without saying goodbye. Should I be upset over that? I'm not. I'm worried sick about her. Exie and Croissant would say the same thing. That's why we came to Syracuse. If she's caught up in some trouble, then we're going to bail her out. If the weight of her past is enough to make her crumble, we'll be there to share that burden with her. Through many plays, the fate of family Texas is known far and wide, even if the rumors of Selena's deaths were exaggerated. Her past is likely much deeper than you can imagine. I know, but we haven't heard it from her directly. She has to tell us what she thinks herself. Only then, if she still decides to part ways with us, after everything we've been through, only then can I say goodbye without a weight on my heart. Only if I try my best can I go move on without any regrets. Well, I'd probably still have some regrets, but they wouldn't be that bad. You speak with a great deal of wisdom, Signorina Sora. I'm just trying to come up with excuses for my bravado, that's all. But I do feel much better after having talking to you about this. You are right though. If I went to see her right now, I don't think there's anything I'd be able to do for her. Actually, I was ready to agree to your request. After the trial, you will see her. I can promise you that. Really? But for the time being, you'll have to keep waiting. Thank you so much. I have got to get ready first. Unfortunately, I won't be there to see your debut in person. Huh? You're not going to watch? That's right. I'm afraid I have something important to do that day. Don't worry. I've already prepared the best possible stage for you. Thank you. I'd better get going then. See you. Bernardo walks over to the shelf and pulls out a book. A legal codex wrapped in thorns. He remains silent for a long time until finally, he places a call. Dimitri, tell her. Just say I agreed. With a boom, thunder surges outside the window. It seems to augur the heavy rain about to come. As far as she was concerned, she's always lived life the exact same way. But to other people, she was just like a Syracusan. Was she just like a Syracusan? She didn't know. All she remembers is what she once said to her grandfather. People who keep going on and on about how life in Syracuse is nobler, or about life in Columbia is nobler, are all full of it. To which she laughed heartily. The high-profile case of Ministro Carasi's assassination is about to be heard in court. But it seems that only a small number of invitees are being allowed inside the courtroom, for security reasons. Everyone else is waiting around the Rion della Justicia for the outcome of the trial. The courthouse is encircled by guards, but nevertheless, a large crowd has formed. It appears the death of Ministro Carassi has touched the hearts of the citizenry. We will continue to report on the situation as it develops, so stay tuned. Sora, are you ready? Mm-hmm. You two can go if you want, while I'm performing. That's alright. Even if we showed up, it's not like we'd be able to get in. Yeah, all we can do is sit tight and wait for the verdict. And you break a leg out there. Don't worry about me. I'm already in the right headspace. Sora, are you ready? Almost time for curtain. Be right there. Volsini Courthouse. Quiet, please. Court is now in session. The outcome of today's trial will be made public to all citizens of Volsini. The case being heard here today is the assassination of Ministri dei Lavori Pubblici. Bring the defendant to the stand. So, that's Texas? Look at the color of her eyes and hair. There's no mistaking it. She's a Texas. Bro's trying to go to sleep. Bro is asleep. How is she still alive? She murdered Karasi? Silence. Selenia, Texas. You were present at the murder of Ministro Karasi. I was. I planted the bomb and detonated it as Il Ministro dei Lavori Pubblici was walking by. She straight up admitted it? This is the last Texas. How the mighty have fallen. What was your motive? I had none. Who gave you the order? No one. In other words, you acted alone. Yes. Impossible. How did you get your hands on a bomb? And when did you have the opportunity to plant it? Does that matter? Did you come to take revenge for family Texas? No. But, Your Honor, I've confessed to everything. I believe there's no need for these two mafiosi in the juror's box to be around. How dare you? Can we just skip all the boring procedures? Huh? Leon, what are you still doing here? I thought you'd be at the courthouse. Is it really so surprising, Dimitri? Would you like a drink? Let's skip the morning booze. I prepare some refreshing fruit juice for you. Get me a whiskey, strongest we have, and then answer my question. How'd you guess? Simple. The attack on me and the assassination of Karasi both prove that someone wants to do DC families at each other's throats. And as Lavinia is a blown spokeswoman on the topic, she can't be allowed to find the murderer, or she would be able to bring the situation under control. Therefore, now that Lavinia has Selenia, the other side can't let the trial proceed. So, what has to happen to Lavinia? Fortunately, things didn't work out for you. You might not have realized it yet, but she's already influenced you a great deal. It's making you question your decisions more and more. And through her influence on you, she might come to believe that she's capable of something. I have to nip that fight of fancy in the bud. Funny how you talk all confident like. Actually, Leon, doing this brings me no joy or peace of mind. I didn't want to wait to the very end to tell you the outcome and force you to accept it. So it's just like you said. Fortunately, things didn't work out for me. But that didn't stop you. We can take all the time in the world settling this score. Speaking of which, the safest option was to have Selenia die mysteriously on the eve of the trial. But that didn't happen. Proving that the other side is afraid of her. After all, even if we set aside her being the last Texas, she's still a guest of the Dawn. In other words, the only ones willing to let this opportunity slip by are from this family. Lo and behold, nobody made any attempts on Selenia's life yesterday. What if the other side anticipated a trap and purposely held off? They're set on challenging Signora Cecilia's authority. You'd expect there to be a lot of commotion. So I did a bit of research into which families had been most active over the past couple days. And it turns out, you, Dimitri, are behind all of this. I must admit, I did not expect Signorina Selenia to stand trial for someone else's crime. I figured it wouldn't make a difference whether or not she was involved in our plan. But by the looks of things, I really should have thought that part through. Don't be too hard on yourself. She didn't come out and say she was fine bearing the stain of this crime. I wouldn't have thought of it either. So in that case, you should show her your gratitude. Of course I will. But before that, I have to ask. Why, Dimitri? Isn't it obvious? I'm the traitor of the family. I'd be more willing to believe that everyone else is a traitor before you. If I can't trust you, then who? Leon, what do you think about this new nomadic city? Obviously, it's a new way of dividing up the spoils. Whoever has the last laugh will be the bigger winner. Sure, but I see it more as a testing ground for Signora Cecilia. Let the Dodici families fight amongst each other here, in the name of building a new city. The new generation of cubs vent their repressed violence, while the old wolves turn their eyes to a new prize. You're great, huh? Where's Columbia's return to the fold? The stagnant cesspool that is Siracusa gets a new lease on life. No matter who wins in the end, it all works out for the women at the top of Grey Hall. Signora Cecilia. Wait, you don't mean... You've done a great job these past few years. You suppressed other families and took control of Ministro dei Lavori Pubblici. If things keep going that way, the balloons will get that last laugh. But what will it accomplish? Our family gets absolute control over the new nomadic city. And after that, it's back to business as usual. And you want more than that? Or rather, he wants more than that. Since Grey Hall was established, since the Dodici families were prohibited from warring against one another, who has ever really been content? We used to be hungry, unscrupulous wolves, and the struggles between our families were bloody and endless. But now, the newest generation of cubs is all nice and comfy in their shackles. They're used to coexisting with other families. They find solutions to conflicts. They argue with each other in Grey Hall over what you call dividing up the spoils. We never did any of that. No need to. So he wants to overthrow the Grey Hall? But how? One individual has allowed the families to act independently, but she will never permit them to violate her ironclad law. There can't be any fighting in broad daylight. We were about to win, and only under these conditions could our sudden fall from power get the attention of the jealous families. Wolves fight. That's nature. They don't hold back at the smell of blood. no matter how domesticated they've become. They tear into each other, claws, fang and all. And that's how we get this particular individual to step out of Grey Hall. We'll all be waiting for that one moment. Crisp sound of glass shattering echoes across the empty room. The pup is unaware of the wounds caused by the splinters. We'll get the last laugh, Leon. And when we do, we'll control more than just a new city. We'll have all of Siracusa. That's what your father, Bernardo Bellone, who single-handedly made the Bellones the most powerful of the Lisi family, wants for us. You're wrong. Huh? I haven't stopped you. Or I guess I should say, you still have a backup plan, right? You knew from the very beginning that you'd be found out, so you waited here for me on purpose. The reason I'm here is because I figured I had to face up to your anger. I owe you an apology, both as your closest friend and as your soldier. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I at least want you to know that I didn't sleep well doing what I did. Stop talking like you're giving a victory speech. I lost, Leon. Really. But maybe this is just the kind of place Siracusa is. Just maybe Dawn's ambitions were right. Just as I was about to admit defeat, she appeared. Who? A lunatic. Tell me, Gambino, can you guess the best way to ruin somebody's day? Huh? Take his head clean off, right? What do you think, Capone? Find his friends and family, kill them one by one, sit him down, and treat him to a slideshow of their pictures. Oh, that's why I always say you two will never amount to anything. Then let's hear your bright idea. His faith, my friends. His faith. You destroy his faith? Destroy? No, how can you destroy a man's faith with your own hands? That can't be done. But you give him a gentle push and let him watch his faith fall right out of the sky. And then, crash. It shatters into a million little pieces. And how do you get a man to shatter his faith so easily? Oh, no, you misunderstand me. Faith is pure and clean. But life is filthy. So easily. A better question is, how could it be hard? So, does this have something to do with us getting you that truck? I get it now. You're gonna run over that judge to shake Texas up, right? Does she come across as the kind of woman who'd break down over one dead judge? What are you gonna do then? You're the Lapland who was exiled from families to Saluzzo. Why are you here in Volsini? Wait. How'd you even get back into Siracusa? You know how the Bellones have a connection with Selenia that nobody knows about? I got me a connection with the Saluzzo name that'd make you wretch. So you're here on their behalf. You could say that. By the way, I think you should probably put the weapons you have under the table. Dying here won't do you or your plans any good. Let's make a deal, Bellone Cub. You want the case dismissed, don't you? I can help with that. Is that what Alberto Saluzzo wants? I'm his daughter, and I know him better than anyone. Haven't you been dying to find out exactly what I'm doing back in Siracusa? Simple. I need her to understand that Siracusa is a swamp You don't just get to wade your way out. That goes for all of us. As such, you confess to having committed all the aforementioned acts. I was. Very well. I hereby proclaim that Selenia, Texas is guilty of murdering Ministro Carassi, Ministro dei Lavori Pubblici. I pronounce you. What's going on? What's that sound? Anybody else hear that? It's an engine. But we're in a courthouse. How could that? For the mafiosi of yesteryear, the unspoken rules were held above all else. Signora Cecilia placed the shackles of the law around the necks of the families. Thus, a court of law was erected in every Syracusan city. In Syracusa, the courts stand for Greyhall's will, and the judges are executors of Signora Cecilia's will. The judges inevitably find themselves controlled by the families, sometimes even submitting to them. However, every judge knows there is one line that cannot be crossed. They must prevent fights between the Dodici families. Just as the Dodici all know their every move is always under the watchful eye of Signora Cecilia. Thus, a delicate balance of power is established in their courts. But now, a declaration of contempt for Signora Cecilia. A mockery of the very laws of Syracusa. With an engine's roar squeezed between bouts of high-pitched laughter. A truck rips through the wall. And even after crashing its way inside, the engine does not stop. As if proclaiming to others, this is no mere accident, but rather by design. Ah! What's going on? What's the truck doing here? Who's the driver? Get out of there this instant. Not bad. Now that's the face I wanted to see. Who the hell are you? Ah, yes. Bro. Buongiorno. Signori. Alright, let's see.
Buongiorno. Signore signori.
Buongiorno? Buongiorno. Signore e signori. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Laplin Saluzzo. Saluzzo? I am also Parassi's true assassin. Breaking news! Just now, somebody drove a truck into the courtroom. The woman who carried out this jaw-dropping deed just identified herself as Laplin Saluzzo, and she claims to be the one who really assassinated Carassi. At present, Judge Lavinia has suspended the trial and detained this individual. We will continue to track the latest developments, so don't go anywhere. When people no longer recognize the stench of blood as blood, it becomes a natural part of society. Let this be a poignant wake-up call. In a city where even the sewers are choked with conspiracy and spilled blood, such fascinating developments can still take place. Oh, wolf, with the yearning for the wilderness, you never fail to surprise. Will you break free of your shackles? That I do wish to see. Over a dozen mobsters lie on the ground, howling. The only one still standing is a girl holding a longbow. I never knew city wolves were this weak. Agnes was right. She pauses briefly, then suddenly turns to sniff the air. It's coming from the direction of the warehouse. Are there other wolves in the wilds in the city? No. This is not the sun of the wilderness. But it's very close to it.